Coming up next, I have Jose joining me. It's been a little while, right?
Yeah.
Been a little while. We're going to do a video where we pick what is the fragrance that we are wearing most right now, other than Super Suave, of course,
That's
and
right.
find out what they are coming up next. Welcome back, everybody, to JoelTheNose here at Osme Perfumery, and we've got Jose joining me again. It's been a little while, Jose. Great to see you. Thanks.
See you.
We always, whenever he's in town, we try to meet up here and go over things. And he was just smelling super suave, and he purchased a bottle, so I want to thank him for that.
It's amazing.
Yeah, thanks. But today's video is going to be something that we're both wearing. We're going to pick one fragrance that we're wearing a lot right now, and we tend to both, I think, have similar styles where we kind of pick something and wear it a lot for a while where it really kind of resonates with us. And real quick, you have for those of you who don't know, he has an awesome Instagram. If you want to give that information so people can follow you.
Sure, yeah, it's fragrance _ flight. Fragrance and flight.
Follow it, guys. Jose's a pilot. He takes all these incredible photos of bottles like up in the sky in the cockpit. Like, it's crazy stuff. So I'll put also the information below in the comments so you guys can follow him. It's really cool.
Thanks.
All right, so let's get right into this. We'll have you go first and pick what is the fragrance that you're kind of most wearing right now.
Okay. So I can't stop wearing Alexander by Arquiste. Let's see, got to get my eyes out of the way. Is it focusing?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. So I'm like you about this house. There's nothing in this house that, even if I wouldn't particularly wear it myself, I recognize that it's extremely high quality. And I've been smelling this for years now, and for some reason I haven't been able to decide for a while which one I wanted. But this past year, I ended up finally getting Alexander. And the reason why is I like fragrances that evoke a memory or an emotion or a feeling a lot.
Definitely.
Or something that's like artistic in nature that makes me think. And this one, I was smelling it and I knew it was something from my childhood, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I took some testers and it took a while for me and it hit me. It's my mother. My mother used to suck on these violet mints. It sounds weird, but it's a violet mints. And
Not violent.
Violet. I think I misspoke. So violet mints, and most people hate them, but I grew up with the scent, so they smell really good. And this has like a vodka, cognac, leather, and I really love fragrances with leather. And then that violet just really, it's so smooth, and I love how it makes me feel what it evokes emotions of or memories of my childhood. So it's so good. I'm smelling it in the air right now, but it's smooth. It's a little more complex, I think, that I gave it originally like credit. We're getting photobombed.
No, shocker. If you photobomb, you better join the video now.
It's a little bit more complex than I originally gave it credit for. I didn't even know about the vodka. It's got some birch. What's that note? Birch. Anyway, but there's more to it than I thought. But I smell something as well in there that's kind of, in addition to the leather, it's got a little woodiness to it, but I don't know what that is in all honesty. I'll have to look at the notes later, but what do you get from it?
So to me, this is like a smooth vodka martini. Like it's just smooth, it's elegant, it is clean. The violet, I absolutely get that violet.
You do?
I don't have the same association as you do with your mom and the candies that you grew up with, but this has always been one of my favorites from the house. It's very different. The other ones tend to be a little bit more stronger, a little bit more almost animalic.
Yeah.
This one is very clean.
Yes.
It's a perfect fragrance to wear pretty much anywhere. And again, that vodka note with that, and I think he gets that maybe through that violet, maybe some iris in there also, because I'm working on a fragrance now, which might be my next release, that has both violet and iris. And when you sprayed this today, to pick this as the one you're wearing most, I'm like, oh my gosh, because I had that with me here, and I'm like, it just, I got the same vibe. So
Yeah.
that to me is something, and so though violet is a classic French, perfume note from the 50s and the 60s, from the classic era of perfume, and this is to me reminds me of that.
It's kind of cold.
Yeah.
In the beginning, and then it warms down. And when I put this on, I can confidently, because obviously in the airport or in the aircraft, you don't really want to be offensive, right?
Yeah.
So, but this is one that I kind of can put on a little more aggressively, and I just know it's not going to like blow everybody out of the aircraft or the airport. So yeah.
Good choice. I'm glad you picked that.
And I want to say shout out to Carlos. I met him in was Scent Explorer.
Yeah.
And he's such a nice guy. If you've ever had the opportunity to meet him, he was so nice and so kind. I got to talk to him, and I got to share that I thought his brand was just.
Yeah, so Carlos is the owner of Arquiste, and he was at Scent Explorer this year. Great guy. I've loved this house for so long, and I finally got to meet him also. It was such a pleasure, even though he was so busy. I was like trying to jump in there because everyone wanted to smell his stuff. But really nice guy and great perfumes.
Yeah,
great
definitely.
perfumes.
Check it out.
Cool. So I'm going to go with one that I'm wearing a lot right now. Actually, let me go hold this up. And I've talked about this briefly before as one of my kind of favorite newer fragrances. Make sure you guys can see it there. And that is Hazy Rose from Ramon Monegal. First of all, I love the Hazy bottle. I love the artistic stuff. We've talked about this. My own perfume brand, I go for almost an abstract artistic quality. And so this, when I see it from a really high level niche house, is so cool when you combine the hazy kind of bottle, and then if you want to hold that for a second while I love rose fragrances, but sometimes rose fragrances can come across to me either really soapy or really old smelling. When I say old, I mean very traditional.
Traditional, okay.
This one is not like that at all. It's got ginger, I believe it's got cardamom, it's got some cedar, it's got some musk. It's just a really, really well done, I think, universal, unisex, perfect rose fragrance for both men and women. I don't know if you've had much experience with this yet.
I haven't had much with it, but anything from this house, such high quality. I have quite a few fragrances from this house.
Okay, cool. Cool.
I'm smelling red. The word that comes to mind is dry for some reason. It's kind of, I feel like it's a rose. It's a dry.
So I pulled up, let me just put my phone here because I have some more of the notes. So saffron, ginger, cashmeran, cedar, pink pepper, oak moss, musk, as I mentioned, and benzoin are the main notes.
Yeah, I can see the musk. Like I said, I haven't had much experience, so you're kind of getting up. I've smelled it before, but that cashmeran and that musk, as well as the rose, after hearing you read the notes. But for some reason, when you first sprayed it, it was a dry kind of like it wasn't, and not too dry, but it was it was drier than I was anticipating a rose fragrance.
Yeah, and so I think what helps dry it out is kind of the cedar and that pink peppercorn, which gives a little bit of a spice, but it also those are in my experience kind of drier notes that probably are giving some of that effect.
I don't like to think of fragrances as male or female, but would you say? I mean, I feel like I would wear. I mean, I wear everything, but I would say that somebody who might be turned away from I don't wear rose fragrance. I think this might be something to consider as a guy.
And in fact, I've been in here a lot when I see a lot of guys pick this up and like it, and I think that's also part of maybe the brilliance in calling it hazy rose, because it to me, if I'm a guy who's maybe a little bit. I'm not so sure if rose is for me. I think of it more for women. When you think hazy rose, it makes it a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, it's not like, floral rose or sweet rose or, candied rose. I mean, it's hazy rose.
Yeah.
It's almost like metal rose or something,
Yeah, metal. Smell that thing. It has a mineral kind of quality to it.
Yep, definitely. I think that's coming a lot from the cashmere and maybe a little bit of the ginger.
Yeah, beautiful fragrance.
Yeah. Cool.
Anything from this house. We picked some good houses today.
Yeah. We did. I mean, two of my favorites, absolutely. I did a video, I don't know if you saw it, like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, I picked what is my favorite house right now. My favorite house of anything, and it was
Yeah,
Arquiste.
I did see that one.
Because for me, there's literally not one fragrance that I've ever smelled that I didn't like. Doesn't mean I'm going to own every one, but any one of them I could recommend to anybody and say, this is a great quality fragrance.
Yes.
I like the fact that he keeps the prices affordable. The bottles, he's an architect by training, Carlos, so the bottles are designed meticulously and so unique. So again, to me, it's just a perfect combination of everything.
And that reminds me, when I met Carlos, I said it in person, said, "It's underrated. Like, just so underrated."
I was shocked, and I met a bunch of other, at Scent Explorer, I was there, and I got to meet a lot of the other fragrance YouTubers and reviewers, at the number of them who had never smelled Arquiste, because wherever they live, it's just not carried.
Yeah.
And I was shocked, because to me, this is, it's one of the best, and I just figured it was pretty much everywhere. But yeah. So, anyways, well, as always, Jose, thanks again.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for, he
So
just
good to be
came,
back.
flew into Miami briefly, and he texted me, and here we are shooting a video. It's always fun, and I'll be back, of course, as always, with another video, and next time you're in town, we'll do another video.
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right, guys. See you. Thanks for watching. Peace, love, and perfume.